4 years back, VISHY Anand battled his bot in an epic showdown, and he was surprised by how strong the bot was.
Oh, this is so annoying, being outplayed by yourself.
And the game ended in a draw.
I'm very impressed that my bot's technique is as bad as mine.
Now 4 years later, it's time for a rematch. Can VISHY Anand crush his bot?
Well,
VISHY Anand started this high stakes game with knight to f3 and his bot played pawn to d5, c4, e6, and he here plays the tricky move pawn to b3.
okay, this seems to be all the fashion these days, so I'll play b3.
And after knight to c6, he plays bishop to b2, puts his bishop on the long diagonal, and his bot instantly blocks the bishop's diagonal, and VISHY challenges this with pawn to e3 and e5, and now pawn to a3, and VISHY is planning b4, and his bot simply plays bishop to g4, and after h3, bishop to f5, and finally VISHY plays pawn to b4, gaining space on the queen side.
I must say I'm kind of happy I managed to get in b4. My bot didn't seem to want to stop my plan.
But this raises the stakes, and after a6, e takes d4, e4, the knight has to move. It moves forward to e5, and knight takes d4. Complications in the center of the board, while white king is not castled. And after d3 and c5, all hell breaks loose.
Showtime.
Because after d takes e4, bishop takes e4, the black pieces are very active, but white plays a masterstroke, eliminates the strong knight on d4.
I must say this has worked out nicely for me. My bot seems to be slightly on the gullible side, so
VISHY Anand cleverly tempts the bot into a queen trade while his king is still in the center, and the bot falls straight into this trap with queen takes d4. And now after takes, VISHY sir is absolutely fine.
this is very nice. Now my position is settled. Totally undeserved after my opening, but anyway, let's poke there a bit.
Now VISHY sir attacks the bishop. It has to go back to f5, and now pawn to c5. Look at this beautiful pawn chain, gaining more space and kind of highlighting these pawns as huge weaknesses. And now rook to d8, and now bishop to c4, keeping an eye on this f7 pawn, and the bishop again has to move. I mean, it's moved more than a marathon runner right now. Bishop takes, pawn takes, and now
bring my king out.
Doesn't need to castle. In fact, he will use the king to put pressure on this pawn. Now black needs to develop very quickly, or he's just dead lost. So the bot plays knight to e7, king to d3, knight to d5, king to c4, using the king as an active piece, and now bishop e7, and now rook to e1, castles, knight to d3. Excellent move, defending the pawn on f2 and attacking the pawn on e6. Now king comes to f7 to defend this pawn, so knight comes to f3, threatening a couple of deadly checks. So bishop f6, and now VISHY starts to gain space on the king side.
Okay, let's push my pawns a little bit. Alright. And bring the knight there. I'm not sure if I should be happy or sad that my bot is playing well. This is not going well. Or maybe it is going well, I don't know. Hang on, let me maybe come back. Knight d3, that sounds nice.
The bot is ready to use tactics now, and the rook drops to f3, pinning the knight. VISHY plays the only move unpinning the knight, king to c2, and now comes rook to d5, attacking the g5 pawn. So VISHY has to defend this pawn with rook g4, and now tactics on the board. Rook takes f2 check. Black has grabbed the pawn because after knight takes f2, knight e3 check, and he picks the rook up back. After knight takes g4, rook takes g5. So black has basically given up a piece, gobbled up a bunch of pawns, and he's really hoping that he can draw this game just like 4 years back. But this time VISHY sir will not let go. He plays knight to f2, rook to g3 check, king takes the pawn, and now pawn to h6, saving it from the rook's attack. But white is winning.
Okay. Nothing to be done. Let's do it and see where it goes.
Now all VISHY sir has to do is use his trump cards, and these are the pawns on the queen side. So first he plays knight to d3, blocking the access of the rook to the queen side, and after rook g4 check, king to c3, and now after rook g3 he decides to break through.
I think it's a good time to open the queen side and rook around.
Black decides to simply push his only hope, the h pawn, Vishy sir grabs the pawn on a4, pawn to h4, only 3 squares away from queening, but it's too little, too late. Vishy takes the pawn on a6 and now pawn to h3, so close, 2 squares away, but now comes rook a8 check, king to d7.
Play b5. Wait, no, king c6. This through. Check. Check. Yeah, I think that should be pretty nice. Hey, where are all the clever comments? Huh? Okay, that's nice. Yeah. Is that checkmate enough for you, buddy? Maybe I will become world champion someday. That's a very positive evaluation.